to what the M5 is. It gave the blueprint to the E28. It was the E12, the BMW 530 MLE, which stands for Motor Sport Limited Edition. Yes, that gave the recipe to the M5. Now I know what you're thinking. How come we never knew of this car? Well, guess what? This car was born and bred out of a country of innovation, a country whereby the first heart transplant was made. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. A country in Africa, on the south side of Africa, South Africa. A country that is a very beautiful country, beautiful culture, beautiful people, full of innovation. The one they put their mind to it, they will do it. We have a saying here in South Africa, and they're saying it's simple. We'll make a plan. Doesn't matter what comes out. Let's get into it. Welcome to Legends.
I was born, created to be a South African road icon. I remember being hand-built in 1976 at BMW Group plant Roslyn by skilled hands who only built 110 of us.
Now, there's no car that just comes out of nowhere. There has to be inspiration. There has to be a rivalry somewhere, somehow. And yes, there was. Now you know BMW. The BMW of the 70s, 80s, 90s is not what we know right now. The one we know today is super successful. The one in the back there, no. They were still suffering from World War. While this Mercedes was spending millions on suspension development, BMW were on the brink of bankruptcy. They couldn't afford to have many cars racing. So now, they loved racing. So BMW South Africa was like, oof, what can we do to race? Remember, South Africa had the Modified Saloon Championship, and everyone was competing, and they were winning. You had Ford, you had Mazda, you had Alpha, yes, Alpha, and they were all competing, and they were winning. And you know that gave BMW nightmares. You can imagine, they couldn't sleep at night. No way. Who are we if we are not winning? Who are we? That's what BMW asked themselves. We are defined by our racing. It's in our DNA. But what can they take to go racing? Remember, the Batmobile has been retired. They have no car to go racing with. There is nothing. BMW looked at themselves. They took the 528. They went racing. That car was a slouch. There was nothing. So now they had to come up with a plan. What do? Now, after the success of the Batmobile, there was no way BMW is gonna let its racing division go down like that. No. So they had to formulate a plan. So two engineers got down and started to think, to formulate, to brainstorm over a cup of a coffee. Beers. There were beers inside, I am sure. Some Coke and brandy. They said, "Nee man, nee. Venter, let's make a plan. We cannot lose to Alphas and Fords. We are BMW after all. What do we do?" They said, okay. Now, how about you go to the 525? They said, okay, I'm listening. They said, yes, it's a bit lighter than the 528. Remember, this is a saloon car. This is a full-fat executive car. This is a car built for comfort. It was never meant to be racing. So they discussed, they formulated a plan. They came up with a plan. And then what they had to do is come up with the perfect time. The perfect time to pitch that plan, to pitch that presentation, to knock it home, to convince the people in charge, the men, the suits, What were they gonna do? Well, it's the day of the pitch, and BMW, those engineers, they noticed something. Out of the corner of their eye, they noticed the sales. They noticed that the 528 losing directly affects the sales. So the sales were slumping down. Because the people in South Africa, we loved racing. We love racing. South Africa is a nation of petrol heads. Anything that has to do with ingenuity and cars, they love it. It is rumored that South Africa loves BMW more than Munich does. Yeah, it's hard to believe, right? There's a reason BMW built their first plant outside of Europe in South Africa. There is a reason. They knew that is a country filled with petrol heads. That is a country filled with anything that has to do with an engine, cars, innovation. They are there. They will be there no matter what. As there's a saying, no DNA, just RSA. So now they pitched, they even showed that no, with the 528 losing, the sales are going down. Oh, the suits were convinced. So now the call had to be made to Munich. The phone is ringing. A call to Munich. Hey, we want to go racing, man. This is BMW South Africa. You know? Oh yeah, don't think no, they went to the motorsport division straight. They wanted the best or nothing. They knew BMW would kind of be on the yes, no. They wanted people who were gonna say yes. Remember, the motorsport division has just been launched. Oh, and they wanted to go racing so bad. Call was put to Munich, and then they had to build a chassis. It was agreed, and you can imagine the way motorsport division agreed so fast. You can imagine there was an accountant having nightmares because BMW is on the brink of collapse, and now they want to found a racing team. They want to help a racing team in Africa. What the hell were they doing? You know that accountant was not right. They had nightmares. They tried to stop it. It couldn't be stopped. The hype train was on the way. South Africa was about to get the BMW MLE. Oh yes. They took everything they've learned from lightweight research in the 3-liter CSL, the Batmobile, and infused it into the 5 Series. They took the 525, not the 528 they were racing, no, 525. They put an aggressive amount of lightweight materials in it, upgraded suspension, drilled holes, and then track bed. Everywhere they drilled holes. They wanted to make sure this car is as light as possible. And this car. So now, the heart of the beast. So now this is a light car, right? You think BMW have stopped? No. They went crazy amount of downforce, and guess what was the heart of the beast? The BMW Inline 6 by Motorsport Division. Well, it was not an M full, but it was from the Motorsport Division. Well, kind of. From the 3-liter CSL, they put the Inline 6, the M30 in there. So yeah, this car was making 200 and something horsepower with that lightweight in 1975. So now you know for sure this car was fast. They were about to tear up the racing strip. Oh, be careful. BMW were cooking. Listen to this heart. Listen to this beast.
I think my heart, it skipped a beat.
And that infamous rule that we all love as petrol heads, homologation. Now they had to abide by the rules. There had to be a certain amount of homologated cars for them to go racing. Thus giving us the BMW 530 MLE. Oh, and what a beast this car was. They made there was a type 1 and a type 2, and they made close to 120 there were a few manuals, and two, I think there were 12 manuals, two including the race cars. There were 2 race cars, and those race cars, on their debut, those cars in their debut season in 1977, they won 15 out of 15 races, and they continued to dominate for the next 3 years. They won the 1977, 1978, and 1979. But now it was time to retire the beast. This car was successful all the way up to its retirement in 1984. This car was super successful. This was the original M5. This car was the blueprint. This car paved the way for what an M5 is, what an M5 should be.
This is a special car.